Morning, everybody, and welcome to Soul Sunday. Emma here from our new studio. Thank you so much for joining me for class today. I will be incorporating some block work, so if you have them, great. I encourage you to use them. If not, you can always use some books or anything else that will give you a little bit of leverage. Let's go ahead and begin. I invite you to come all the way down onto your back. Rolling our shoulders back, taking our hands behind the backs of our legs. Slowly lower yourself all the way down. Once you're down there, head, neck, and shoulders come to the ground. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Exhale, let your breath go. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Maybe taking any adjustments you need to, adjusting your grip or pulling your knees in a little bit closer. I invite you to rock side to side, massaging out your back, your spine. Good, and then start to move your hands back behind your legs, underneath your knees maybe. From here, I want you to find a little bit of momentum. Rocking yourself forward and back. Every time you rock back, you're sending your toes a little bit further behind you. And then finally, on this last one, we're going to hold. Imagine lifting your hips up. And as you lift your hips up, you send your toes a little bit further behind you. You'll feel a nice long stretch here in the back of your neck. Just breathe through it. If this is too much, you can always bend your knees. You can use your hands to support your weight. Now, from here, we start to lower down one vertebra at a time, using our core, allowing our hands to help support our lower body. Good. We come all the way down. We bend our knees. We plant the soles of our feet on the ground, taking our arms out to the side, and just windshield wiper your legs left and right. Good. Just noticing how you feel on this Sunday, acknowledging your breath, your movement. When you're ready, come back to center. From here, we will reach for one of our blocks. Stamp the soles of your feet into your mat. Lift your hips and then plant your tailbone down onto your block. Good. Feel your weight resting on this block. If you're not using a block, that's okay. Feel your tailbone press into the ground. Always coming back to our breath. Keeping the soles of our feet stamped down into the ground. On your next exhale, lift your hips up. Take your right arm, reach it up to the ceiling first. And then you're going to reach it to the back left corner. Maybe you can bring your fingertips down to the ground. Maybe you're just holding here for now. Good. Take it back down to center. And release. Let's take it opposite side here. Lift your hips. Send your left arm up to the ceiling. And then reach your left arm all the way over to the right side. Good. Take it right back down to center. Let's go one more time each side. Lift your hips. Reach your right arm to the ceiling. Glutes stay activated. Reach your right arm all the way back to the left corner. Good. You'll feel your hamstrings activate as they lift your hips up. Slowly come back down to center and release. Let's go. Left arm reaches up. Take it all the way back to the right corner. Lift your hips. And release. Come right back down. From here, we draw our knees into our chest. And then we flex our feet, pressing them all the way up to the ceiling. Good. Once again, you are supported by your block underneath your tailbone. You're flexing your legs. You're allowing the blood to circulate and flow down in the opposite direction. Arms come out to your side and alternate, pointing your toes and flexing your feet. You'll feel a nice calf stretch as you pull your toes towards your forehead. Good. Give me 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees. Start to stamp the soles of your feet back down onto the ground. From here, remove your block. Knees back into your chest, hands behind the backs of your legs. Rock and roll yourself up one more time. We're going to swing our feet around from underneath us. We're going to head into child's pose. Option here, once again, to use your blocks. 2 blocks here. They're going to rest directly underneath your palms. Opening up your knees the width of your mat, 2 big toes to touch, sending your hips back. You'll notice with a little bit of an elevation here, you're getting a deeper stretch in your shoulders. Separating our feet behind us, tucking our toes underneath us, pressing our palms down into our blocks. We start to lift our knees up bent, sending your hips back, lengthening through your legs, downward facing dog, and then returning back to that child's pose, dropping your knees, untucking your toes, sending your hips back. You can move with me at that same pace, or you can take it a little bit slower, maybe hanging out in one pose a little bit longer than another. Every time you lift your hips, you send your heels to the ground. And every time you send your hips back, you lengthen a little bit longer. One more time here. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees. Send your hips to the sky, heels to the ground. And then bend your knees. Untuck your toes and send your hips back. Beautiful work, everybody. Rock yourself up to tabletop. Now what we do is we draw our blocks directly underneath our shoulders. In our tabletop pose, from here, we're going to lift our left leg, drive it up to the ceiling, and then rotate, opening up your knees, circling down. Drive up to the ceiling, rotate your hips so knee comes out and circling down. We're starting to open up our hips. Good, perfect tempo here. When you are ready, I want you to take it opposite direction. So draw your knee forward to your chest. Open up your knee to the side and then bring it all the way around back. We visited these hip circles week 1. This week we're adding that height with our blocks. Good. Once you feel even, forward and backwards, we'll go into the right side. So drive your right leg up to the ceiling, open up your hip, rotating your knee, and then circling back down. Good. Make sure you're breathing here, engaging your core. If this ever bothers your knees, you can always plant a towel underneath you or maybe a pillow to give you a little bit more support. And then from here, we take it opposite direction. Draw your knee to your chest, open it up to the side, and then circle back. Good, just like this. Draw your knee, open up to the side, and circle back. Awesome work, everybody. Keeping our hands underneath our shoulders, opening up our knees nice and wide. From here, inhale, drop your belly, flip your gaze, look up. And exhale, round your back, pulling your belly button into your chest. Inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, flip your gaze, look up. And exhale, round through your spine, pulling your belly button into your chest. Let's take 2 more here, moving at your own pace, at your own tempo. Returning back to center, walking our right knee towards the center midline of our body. We bring our left leg forward. From here, take that same cow and cat stretch, maybe dropping a little bit deeper into your hips. Really learning how to open up your chest, pulling your chin away. Good. Return your left leg down. Let's bring our opposite leg forward, taking that same stretch here, dropping your chest, flipping your gaze, and then rounding through your back. You might notice that you rock a little bit here. That's okay. Find a range of motion that feels good. One more. Small movements, very effective. Returning our right knee back down. We move our blocks off to the side from here. Now holding in our tabletop, we're going to go into a shoulder stretch. So I want you to open up your hands a little bit wider. From here, bend your left arm. Drop your right shoulder all the way down to the ground. Head comes down, hips stay lifted. Flip your right palm so that it faces up towards the sky. You'll feel that nice deep rotation. Good. Come back to center. Start to lift yourself up. From here, keep your wide stance. Slight bend in your right elbow. Drop your left shoulder down to the ground. Keep your hips lifted. Left palm faces the ceiling. Wonderful. Come back to center. Let's take it one more time each side. Dropping our right shoulder all the way down to the ground, flipping our palm, gazes up. Good. Come back to center. Lift yourself up one more time. Left side. Slight bend in your right elbow. Bringing your left shoulder down to the ground. Flipping your palm up to the ceiling. Finding that nice deep mobility stretch. And then pressing through your right palm, lifting yourself up. We swing our feet out underneath us. Here we take these two and nicely bent legs. Hands coming to our heart center. I'm going to shift my weight just a little bit here. Keeping our chest nice and proud. We press into the soles of our feet. We switch our weight. We drop our knees opposite side. Good. Nice and easy here. Trying to keep our hands close into our chest as we swivel our legs right and left. Good. Come back to your starting point. Hovering over this left leg, we take this nice deep forward fold. You can always come down onto your forearms a little bit deeper. You can reach your right arm up and over for a nice solid side body stretch. Start to bring your arms back all the way around this time, planting the soles of your feet. So now your right hand is going to press into the ground as you lift your hips up, reverse tabletop stretch. Start to lower your hips back down. Bend your knees, go back to the same way that you were facing, forward fold, a little bit deeper stretch. And then swing your arms all the way around. Plant the soles of your feet. Right hand comes down. Lift your hips. Reach your left arm to the ceiling. And come right back down. One more time here. Reach all the way over that front leg. Swing your arms up and around. And then press into your right hand, lifting your hips up, drop your head. And slowly come right back down. Good. We return to our starting position here, hands at heart center. We just repeat our swivels. We hold opposite side this time. Rotate, forward fold, come down. Option to stay here or come down to one forearm, maybe even reach opposite side. We take that same variation on the opposite side. We plant our left hand down. We reach our hips up. We send our right hand all the way up to the ceiling. And then we slowly come right back down. Plant your hands. Reach your arm up and over. Nice job. Take it again here. Left hand comes down. Lift your hips. Reach up. And lower right back down. Good. One more time here. Forward fold over that front leg. Every single time you come down, you get a little bit deeper. And then slowly come on up. Last time here, plant your left hand, reach your hips up, reach your right arm up. Slow, steady, roll right back down. Beautiful work, everybody. I invite you to bring the soles of your feet back down to your mat, pulling your shoulders back. We lower ourselves all the way down. We reach our arms up overhead, taking a nice big good morning stretch. We send our knees into our chest, a little bit more warmed up. Here we rock and roll our body. We come all the way forward. We cross our hands. We cross our feet. We plant our hands. Coming back to our tabletop. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly. Flip your gaze. And exhale, cat. Round through your spine, pulling your belly button into your chest. Return back to tabletop. Tuck your toes underneath. Start to lift your knees off of the ground. Send your hips all the way high, downward facing dog. Pedal into your heels, bend into your knees. Pull your ears back by your biceps, and then even tuck your chin slightly into your chest. Holding our static downward facing dog. We walk our hands towards our feet. We take that nice deep forward fold. Hands planted onto the ground. You can open up your feet a little bit wider than hip. From here, we deep bend down into our seat. And then we press our hips up to the sky. Here's another great opportunity to use some blocks. If your hands are not quite hitting the ground, you can always press them down into your blocks to give you a little bit more height. So you can feel that deep stretch, bending into your knees, dropping your hips, and then pressing into your blocks and just rising up straight legs. 3 more here. 2. And 1. I invite you to rotate your toes so that they are rotate your feet so that your toes are on an angle. Knees are just slightly turned out here. From here, we're going to go into a deep yogi squat. Now, options for your blocks. You can use your blocks to support your hands. You can also use your blocks to support your seat. Okay? So by stacking these underneath my hips, from here, I'm going to lower my hips down, come to a seat, deep yogi squat. Good. Now you can always plant your hands, you can lift your hips, you can make any adjustments that you need to. Good, we're looking for this nice deep yogi squat, hip opener. If you're not using your blocks and you're deep enough, you can use your elbows to open up your knees a little bit more. Maybe even take a little rock side to side. You can also take this stretch from standing and just lower yourself down. Maybe you're here today. Notice that every week you're working a little bit harder to get a little bit more flexible, stretching, listening to your body, using your breath. Awesome work, you guys. Forward fold, plant your hands, lengthen through your legs. Start to rotate your feet so that all 10 toes face forward. And then from here, we walk our hands over to the right side. We bend into our right knee. We take a nice deep lateral lunge. Notice that as you come down to the ground, your leg naturally rotates so that your toes face up. Listen to your body, allow it to move as you move. Options here, you can always stay a little bit higher if you're not coming down as deep. Or another great option here is you can use your blocks to help you stay lifted. When you are ready, start to pivot your body all the way over to your right, deep runner's lunge. Another great opportunity to use your blocks to give you a little bit of height here. We drop our back left knee, we untuck our left toes. I invite you just to rock forward and back. Stretching out your right hamstring and calf, flexing your foot as you rock back, and then sending yourself forward. Good. Holding in our runner's lunge, we tuck our back left toes. We lift our left knee. We're going to pivot back to the front, coming into our deep lateral lunge. And then walking our hands through center, we come to the opposite side. Dropping down into our left knee, noticing that our right toes start to pivot and face up to the ceiling. Right knee shining to the ceiling. You'll feel a nice deep inner thigh stretch here. And then when you are ready, go ahead and pivot your body. Come into a deep runner's lunge on the left side. Drop your right knee. Untuck your right toes. Rock yourself forward and back. Good. Remember to breathe here, being gentle with your body, feeling the stretch of the back of your hamstring on your left side. As you sit back, your left foot flexes, toes to the ceiling. And meet me back in your runner's lunge. From here, plant your hands, tuck your back right toe, lift your right knee. We start to pivot back towards the front. Walk your hands to center, wide-legged forward fold. Your options for your blocks, hands on tops of your blocks. You can always stand them up tall too. Maybe even resting your forehead on them. Reaching for your outsides of your feet. Option to bend into your knees. Lengthen through your backs of your legs, lifting your hips to the sky. Nice work, everybody. Plant your hands. Start to lift your head, neck, and shoulders. You can heel toe your feet in. Slow slow, steady, start to roll yourself up. Head, neck, and shoulders coming up at the top, rolling our shoulders back. Blocks coming to the front of our mat. We take a nice big cleansing breath. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to ground. Bend into your knees, lift your heels off of the ground. Test your balance, maybe wrap your arms around your legs. We're just going to the ground, so if you fall out of it, you're one step ahead of us. When you're ready, release your hands, let your heels take you back. Drop your hips, and then slowly lower yourself down one more time. Head, neck, and shoulders come down. Pull your knees into your chest. Extend your left leg long, holding your right knee into your chest. Roll out your right ankle. Keeping your left hand on top of your right knee, pull your knee through center, supine twist. Another great option for your block. You can always use your block if you're having a difficult time bringing your knee down and you feel your shoulder lifting. Pull your shoulder back down and then use your block to help your knee meet it. Eventually turning your gaze towards your right hand. Bringing your gaze back to center, starting to lift your knee through center. Left leg comes in to meet your right, little squeeze here, and then extend your right leg long. Roll out your left ankle once or twice to the left, once or twice to the right. Keeping our right hand on top of our left leg, left arm out to the side. We draw our left leg through center over to the right side. Eventually our gaze turns towards our left hand. Coming back to center, lifting our left leg in. We draw our knees into our chest and then start to create some space between your knees. Option 1 here, you can reach for your toes. Option 2, you can hold onto your knees and just start to flex your feet. Eventually, we go for happy baby pose. Space between our knees, deep stretch in our hips. Feet are flexed, little rock side to side. Feel the massaging out of your lower back. Come back to center, straighten left leg long. See if you can straighten your right leg and then bring your feet together. Can you use the strength of your arms to pull your toes all the way back overhead? Notice the second time here, a little bit more flexible, a little bit more warmed up. Once again, you can use your hands to help support your hips. We start to roll down one vertebra at a time using our core strength. Bend your knees. Give yourself a nice big hug. One last time, we rock and roll ourselves up. We come to a seat at the top of our mat. We take our arms out to the side. Our biggest breath of the day. Big breath in, reach your arms up. Exhale, release, let it go. Send yourself some love and some gratitude. Big breath in. Big breath out. One more time here. Inhale, arms come all the way up, palms together to touch. Exhale, hands through heart center. Namaste. Thank you for spending some time for your body to stretch, to recover, to heal. We will see you guys